Here we go. Part 2, solving absolute value inequalities. This problem is greater than becomes an or. So we set up what's inside the absolute value, less than the opposite of what's there, or what's inside the absolute value greater than or equal to 3. Now we're going to solve both of these independently. I'm going to subtract 5. They're two-step equations, and then divide by 2. So x is less than or equal to negative 4. Solving the other one, 2x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Divide by 2. X is greater than or equal to negative 1. Solving this part should come pretty smooth for us. All right, so close dot at negative 4. It's less than, so I shade to the left. Close dot at negative 1. Label it because it's not on my graph. Shade to the right. My interval notation, I'm scanning the graph left to right. I'm coming in from negative infinity. I'm stopping at negative 4. It is a closed dot. Or in between, I keep going, I stop at negative 1, again closed dot, so it's a bracket, and I keep going to infinity and beyond. That is a parenthesis. Okay? Not too bad. Looking at number 6, I can't go any further until I get rid of this thing right here. That is not in the absolute value. So how do I get rid of that? I do the inverse operation. I add 1, getting rid of that. So now I will have the absolute value of x plus 3 less than 6. Less than is an and. So I take the opposite, which is negative 6, put it in an and compound inequality, bring the stuff out of the absolute value, put it in the middle, bring down your 6. Now I'm going to solve this. Getting x by itself, I'm going to subtract by 3. Negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. X is all by itself. 6 minus 3 is 3. These will be open dots because there's no line underneath. So at negative 9, I'm going to mark that that's not on my graph. And I'm going to go all the way over to 3. Again, not on my graph. X is in the middle. We're shading in the middle. Interval notation going left to right across the graph. I'm at negative 9. Open dot means parentheses. I keep going to 3. And that's a parentheses because that's an open dot. All right. Let's take a look at 7 and 8. Take a second and look at 7. Think to yourself, what needs to change before we solve? Before we score a goal here? What needs to happen? I hope you're thinking that this 3 needs to go. So we're going to divide because it's being multiplied. So now I've got the absolute value of 2x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 10. Going back to my goal, g is greater than, so that makes this an or inequality. So we're going to separate it. 1 through 2. 2x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 10, or 2x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 10. This is really helpful. You always want to score a goal. Okay? So solving this two-step inequality, inverse, subtract 8. 2x is less than or equal to negative 18. Divide by 2. X is less than or equal to negative 9. If you want to graph that right away, here's negative 9, close dot, shade it to the left. Solving on the right, same kind of steps, subtract 8. You get 2 2 this time. Divide by 2, you get 1. So x is greater than or equal to 1. Find 1 on our graph right here. Mark it because it's not listed. Shade to the right. Read my graph left to right. I'm coming in from negative infinity, so that is a parentheses. I stop at -9, that's a closed dot, closed bracket. Keep traveling, stop at 1. So my or in between, 1 is a closed dot, so it's a bracket, and I go to infinity. All right. Looking at number 8. Feel free to pause the video at any time to copy down what you need to copy down. Number 8, I need to get rid of this -2. It's being divided, so I need to multiply both sides by -2. Cancels out here. Absolute value of 4x minus 8 is less than or equal to 12. Less than is an and, so I take my opposite, which is -12. I sandwich it in between what's in the absolute value bars. Now I'm solving. All right, trying to get x by itself. I'm going to add 8 to all 3 sides. -4 less than or equal to 4x, which is less than or equal to 20. One more step, and multiplying the 4 and the x. To undo that, I need to divide by 4. X is by itself. -4 divided by 4 is -1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. All right, we're going to graph this. And -1 is a closed dot. At 5, it is a closed dot. We need to mark those because they're not written on a graph. X is in the middle, so we shade in the middle. So in interval notation, moving left to right across the graph, we have -1, it is a closed dot. We keep traveling, we have 5, it is a closed dot. I believe there are 2 more for us to do. You're doing great, hang in there. All right, looks like we have 2 steps to do in number 9 before we can actually break it into a compound inequality. I need to get rid of the 3 and the 10. All right. So we're going to add 3. Then I need to get rid of my 10. Cancels out. So I'm going to bring this up here. Absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than 5. Greater than, we're scoring a goal. Greater than is an or. So we take what's inside the absolute value, reverse our sign, and we make it negative. And then we just bring it out without the absolute value. All right, let's solve this one. We add 4 to both sides. X is less than -1. Or, here's -1, open dot, shade to the left. Same process on the right. We add 4. We're going to get x is greater than 9. Again, open dot again. Right here's 9. Shaded to the right. Interval notation coming in from negative infinity, stopping at -1, open dot, so that's parentheses, or we keep going, we're at 9, open dot, which is parentheses, and we go to infinity, and beyond. All right, last problem. Going after my 11, so I'm going to subtract 11. I get 4. I need to get rid of my 1/2, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/1. So I've got absolute value of 4x minus 4 is less than 8. Less than is an and, so I take my opposite, -8, keep my sign the same, 4x minus 4 is less than or equal to 8. Getting x by itself, I'm going to add 4 to all three sides. -4 is less than or equal to 4x, which is less than or equal to 12. One more step, divide by 4. -1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3. So my and, there's two ends, and we're shading in the middle at -1. Looks like it's a closed dot. I'm going to mark that. At 3, it's a closed dot. Mark that, shade in between. Interval notation, going left to right, it's a bracket because it's a closed dot. -1, 3, bracket, closed dot. All right, that ends part 2. Mrs. Straight signing off.